Hey guys, codename Jitsu back with another video. So Rick and Morty season finales are very lore heavy episodes, well, at least most of them. But I do have some problems with them, and this is specifically towards the season 4 and season 5 finales. The episodes on their own are great, but they just feel out of place. So you have the season 4 finale, which is a great episode on its own, but its placement is very weird and it just didn't sit right with me. Like season 4 was all filler. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but the whole season is just, each episode has its own story. They weren't connected. But then you reach the season finale of season 4 and it just felt out of place. Like the season 4 finale, Star Mort Return of the Jerry, focused on the Galactic Federation coming back with Tammy as the leader. We get to see Phoenix Person and Space Beth shows up. But season 4 never mentioned any of these stuff before the final episode, so its placement felt weird. It's not like season 4 was setting up the season finale or anything. No, season 4 was an episodic season, a filler season. So it didn't really set up the season 4 finale. So yeah, because when you reached the season 4 finale, it just came out of nowhere, and like it just decided to be an important episode, a very lore heavy episode. So yeah, it had zero build up to it. It just came out of nowhere. Same with the season 5 finale, which is a two-parter. Forget and Saw Rick More Chill and Rick More Jack, and those episodes are great, but they had zero build up in season 5 because season 5 was mostly episodic. And in the final episode of the season, we get to see Evil Morty, and they revealed Rick's backstory, and we get to see the Citadel of Rick's. But it's not like those things were mentioned before the season finale in season 5. There was no mention of Evil Morty before the season finale. In season 5, there was no mention to the Citadel of Rick's before the season finale in season 5. Those final two episodes just came out of nowhere. The only thing that was mentioned before the season finale of season 5 was Diane, Rick's wife, because Mr. Nimbus mentioned her in the season premiere, Mort Dinner Rickander, and we got a payoff to it in the season finale, with revealing what really happened to Rick's wife during Rick's backstory. That's like the only thing that was mentioned in season 5 that was brought up again in the season finale. It was Rick's wife, and that's it. And you know what? Those are like the only two season finales that felt out of place. It's the season 4 finale and the season 5 finale. The rest actually worked pretty well. The season 1 finale works for not being very lore heavy episode because it was the first season, okay? So I wasn't expecting much. But it did introduce the relation between Bird Person and Tammy, so it was an important episode. So that was a good thing. And in the season 2 finale, it also works very well with focusing on Bird Person and Tammy's wedding, revealing that Tammy is part of the Galactic Federation, and that's because of the first two seasons. Because the first two seasons mentioned those stuff. The wedding between Bird Person and Tammy had a great build up, because the final episode of season 1, we get to see them fall in love for the first time. They made a cameo in season 2 episode 5, Get Swifty, and it all led up to the marriage episode in the season 2 finale, The Wedding Squanchers. And the Galactic Federation making a comeback in the season 2 finale also had a great setup in the first two seasons. Because on the pilot, we get to see Rick and Morty being chased by the Galactic Federation. And in episode 10, True Recounters of the Recon, they also mentioned the Galactic Federation by telling us that the Citadel of Ricks was built so they can defend themselves from the Galactic Federation, so they can, hide from them. Also, Rick said to Morty that he doesn't get along with the Galactic Federation in Season 2, Episode 2, Morty Night Run. So to see the Galactic Federation play a major role in the Season 2 finale, it just feels complete. All of those stuff that happened in the Season 2 finale had a great build-up to them in the first two seasons. The Season 3 finale also works pretty well, because Season 3 is the most story-driven season, with the divorce subplot between Jerry and Beth, and it get resolved in the Season 3 finale, the Rick, Shuri, and Morty date. And they also continued upon the whole clone Beth thing that was set up in the previous episode, The ABCs of Beth. The Season 6 finale also works pretty well, because the Season 6 premiere, they focused on Rick trying to hunt Rick Prime, and they mentioned it again in the Season 6 finale. That episode wasn't just a follow-up episode to the Season 6 premiere, but it was also a follow-up to its previous episode, which is the 9th episode of Season 6, and since they revealed that the Rick that we saw in episode 9 of season 6 was actually a robot, because they revealed it in the season 6 finale. The season 7 finale also works, because it's Morty seeing Diane when he went inside the fear hole, and us seeing Diane again makes sense in the finale, since the 5th episode of season 7 is Rick and Morty teaming up with evil Morty to find Rick Prime, because he killed Rick's wife, Diane. So having the final episode of season 7 being about Diane, it felt natural. It didn't came out of nowhere. Yes, that Diane wasn't real, it was all part of Morty's story of what he saw when he entered the fear hole. It was still about Diane nonetheless, even if she wasn't the real Diane. So most of the season finales of Rick and Morty worked perfectly. The only ones that didn't work are the season 4 finale and the season 5 finale. Because the season 4 finale and the season 5 finale had zero setup. They didn't mention stuff that happened in those final episodes early on the season, so they just felt off, okay? The season 4 and season 5 finales felt out of place. When you think about it, the season 4 finale would have worked perfectly as the final episode of season 3, because the last 2 episodes of season 3 were about, Beth, whether she's a clone or not. So following it up with the season 4 finale with revealing that there is 2 Beths, and one of them is a clone, it just would have worked perfectly. I don't know why they made it the final episode of season 4. It would have worked perfectly as the final episode of season 3. And also we saw Tammy with Phoenix Person in the post-credit scene of the season 3 premiere, so having them come back in the season 4 finale, which would be placed right after the last 2 episodes of season 3, it would have been perfect. It would have been full circle, if you get what I mean. But yeah, the season 4 and season 5 finales are great episodes. They just feel out of place. Their placement just, it feels off to me. But yeah, I would love to hear your thoughts down in the comments about this subject. So I'm done. So if you guys like this video, then give it a like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and I'll catch you all in the next video.